I am looking at a case submitted by Lyla. And by the way, if I don't get through all the cases, I'm going to aim to do some follow-up emails with little quick case studies so you can see how I might address that, which will be really fun. So keep an eye out for those. So if you submitted something and I didn't get to it, no worries. I will try to address it, and thank you for your submission. So Lyla submitted a case about Annabelle, who's 73. And she has pain on the top of her foot and fungal toenails. The pain started after an accident 8 years ago and has had the fungal toe for over 9 years. The first appointment was in 2012, had post-viral fatigue in 2009, but now okay except frequent colds. Complained of blepharitis, arthritic pain, low energy, slight bloatedness, but not regularly. However, good bowel movement twice a day. We resolved all these issues, good job, except that recently she came back and wanted to resolve the foot pain and fungal toes. This was addressed and pain reduced by 75%, no change with the toes. Introduced additional supplements. Next appointment was stressed and also bloatedness and loose stools, and had she couldn't afford to do lab testing. Current protocol suggested an anti-candida diet, an elimination and reintroduction of eggs and nightshades, grains, only rice and quinoa. No dairy, lots of vegetables and fats. She is a vegetarian, so no animal proteins except the egg. Fruits, only berries and green apples, so she's doing a good anti-candida protocol without animal protein. And she's on an anti-inflammatory from Biotics, the ADP, which is oregano oil. That's our favorite, actually, for oregano oil. BioCare, which is a British company for essential fats, PRL's Premier Enzyme, also use a proteolytic enzyme. After 2.5 months, when pain had reduced, introduced L-glutamine and probiotics. No current medications. Okay, here are the questions from Lyla so it's Lyla's questions about Annabelle. Her digestion got worse after the introduction of L-glutamine and probiotics. I asked her to stop them and return to the original protocol, and also added caprylic acid. So based on her age, 73, Lyla, I would actually see if you could work with backing up the probiotics and working with some probiotic, maybe some coconut kefir, therapeutic coconut kefir. I don't know if you're here in the States, but introducing a coconut kefir in like 1/4 teaspoon. The ones I like are the Inner Eco or the Cocoa Yo, but see what's available around you. So back up on the probiotics. I think your instinct is right with probiotics. Does she eat any probiotic-rich foods, even doing a little bit of kraut or kimchi? Because there clearly is some sort of fungal situation here, and without the labs, you can't detect more. So you can see if you can make a dent there. I also didn't see that she was on B vitamins, which could also help with the skin and the fungus there. So yeah, I didn't see that. So that might be helpful there for the fungus. So just working with a little bit of probiotic-rich foods, and maybe thinking about bringing in a Saccharomyces boulardii. Again, at Replenish Me, that's our yeast biotic. So thinking about where there might be something you can do with that. I like that you're working with the oregano oil and the so the ADP oregano oil, that's our favorite too, and the caprylic acid. Depending on how much coconut oil she's eating, that can be antimicrobial, and you might want to also have her put some coconut oil on her toes, like directly on her toes, and some oregano oil on the bottoms of her feet in addition to what she's consuming. And sometimes for yeast issues, I will bring in lauric acid in the form of lauricidin, so you're getting the monolaurin, and you can increase that dosage slowly that might be one thing to add there because of the bacterial, the viral load there. So just seeing what's happening, but back it up with the probiotics. It may have been the amount she was taking for her bacterial balance, or it may have been the strains that were available there. So if you bring it in with food and she still has an issue, then I would even bring it down lower, like tiny bit of coconut probiotic drink should do the trick. And then Lyla saying, my thinking is that there's still some yeast infection present. Is that correct? I would assume that, again, without testing, I would make that assumption and continue to work with that. Otherwise, why would she react to these additional supplements? Your thoughts would be welcomed. And Lyla said, so Lyla is in England, not here, so she can attend live. So Lyla, I would definitely make the same assumption that you've made, that there's still a bacterial or viral load that you want to be addressing, and without the labs, back it up and continue to go in there slowly but surely, potentially thinking of food-based versions of the probiotics, probiotic-rich foods, and working with coconut oil, and seeing if you can make a shift there. Also, because she's not eating animal protein, I would be looking at the glycemic load, not with any measuring, but just kind of analyzing a food, mood, poop journal. And for anybody who's joining us new, you can get our food, mood, poop journal at replenishpdx.com/FMP. So take a look at what she's eating, and even though she's only eating low glycemic fruits, is she getting enough fat and protein to balance out the carbohydrates she's eating, even if they're good carbohydrates? And what is her relationship to being vegetarian? So that's another thing I would be looking at in terms of, is there a shift that you can make there in terms of her protein consumption to balance out the carbohydrate consumption? So those are the things I'd be thinking for Annabelle, and that's a great case.